Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. This is the starting 11 show. Arsenal play Wolves today. I just had a look in the league table. It is a crucial game. I knew it was, but I was internalising actually quite how big this is. We've got the panel to discuss the starting 11, which is out in 15 minutes. Hello, Cecil, how you doing?
I'm very good. What, no claps? You used to do the claps.
I used to do the claps, but no one used to.
I never used to clap.
Yeah, I like the claps.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Julian?
Thank you. Can I clap myself?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. We got Robbie.
That'll be the comments.
Imagine that. Everyone's in the comments just booing Julian. Not after your wonders on the date last week, surely not.
Don't think I got to the date, did I?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I nearly got to take our father.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. That's not materialised, is it?
Well, I do have tickets on the halfway line at Spurs, so that's half the story done. Which was the important half.
Oh my God, Julian.
Okay. Let's talk football. Arsenal Wolves tonight. 2 weeks ago, I think the narrative was very similar. Massive opportunity to take advantage of Tottenham's stumble earlier in the week. Wolves a tough game. If we win, we pretty much end their run for top four. 2 weeks on, it's the same story. But Arsenal have been doing their job in the league. Robbie, I'll come to you first. How are you feeling?
I feel confident tonight. I think it's a very difficult game, just as it was, like you said, 2 weeks ago. But at home, I think we've had good form at home. We've only lost to Chelsea and City at home, and even in that City game, we played really, really well. And I like the freshness of the team at the weekend. I think this sort of one game a week type thing's helping Arsenal. You know what I mean? We're coming out into games fresher. I think we know what Wolves are going to do. They're going to come, they're going to sit, which is what they do even when they play at home. They're going to sit for a long periods of time and look to catch us on the counter-attack. They're very dangerous on the counter. But I think if Arsenal put their foot on the gas right from the start, we've got a chance to that. I watched their game, Wolves, at the weekend against Leicester. I thought Leicester were very unlucky not to win that game. They were a much better team, but Wolves were clinical. Let's give them that. They were clinical in that game, and if you're clinical, you deserve to win. But I'm confident, man. I think this is, like you said, an opportunity. You know, I mean, if we win this game, like you said, we go fifth, a couple of points beyond United. Stretch away from Tottenham as well, which would be great after their defeat last night. And remember, we don't have a game at the weekend again, because Liverpool are playing in the Carabao Cup final. We're supposed to be playing Liverpool, so we don't have a game at the weekend. So that's why it's even more important to win it, because you want to be winning this is one of those games in hand that we had from this game was around Christmas, remember?
Yeah.
So you want to win those games in hand, and then it will give us a little buffer that even if things don't go away at the weekend, which you'd expect Tottenham to beat Leeds, you'd expect Man United to beat Watford. I think they got at home. If they don't go our way, they haven't pulled away massively from us. So very important game for us today. Very.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned, where it leaves us in the league table. Let's have a little look at it now, because it's when you talk about buffer, I know exactly what you mean. Win today, and our gap of 3 points ahead of Spurs becomes 6. No games in hand there. That will simply just be a 6-point lead. We'll be a point behind United with 2 games in hand. There's a little buffer there. If one game in hand goes wrong, there's still another opportunity to overtake them. United do have a particularly tough run, between now and the end of the season. Everyone's got some tough games to come, but Julian, this presents a massive opportunity for Arsenal to. I mean, a lot of people are saying Arsenal are favourites and they're in the driving seat anyway, but this is a real opportunity to cement that.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity, but before every game this season I felt really confident. For some reason I'm not as confident tonight, and I think it's got everything to do with Wolves. I said a few weeks ago on the Top 4 show, I said Wolves have come 5th. Now, the primary reason for saying that was winding up the Man United and Spurs fan that was next to me. I said it in jest, but actually since I said that, and I've seen Wolves play live, and I've actually been taking note of them in their other 2 games, I can see that they've got a chance. They have a real chance, and I disagree with you that they were lucky on Sunday. I thought Leicester played much better than they've played for a long time, but I didn't see that Wolves were lucky to win that.
I wouldn't say lucky. I wouldn't say lucky. I think they got completely dominated in the game.
But they managed that really well.
I don't know, man. I think Leicester had a few chances. I think a better team, a better team than Leicester right now, I don't think Wolves would have won that game. I really don't. You know what I mean? I think they in the second half they were up against it. Even when Leicester equalised and got 1-1, they fully deserved that. They were all over Wolves, but
I thought defensively
Wolves are a well-structured team.
Exactly.
But you can, I think we can get goals against them. And if we play with the intensity like what we did against Man City, right, we can beat Wolves, in my opinion. We beat them at their place, and I don't think.
I think we were slightly lucky when we went.
I think at their place, up until the sending off, I thought we was in control of that game.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought it could have gone either way, and after the sending off,
up until the sending off, we were in control of. I remember we was in the studio, we sat watching the game, and we're kind of like, we don't really want to say it, we're kind of controlling this game. And then even after the sending off, Lacazette should have buried that chance to put us 2-0 up. So I feel that if we're on the front foot today, it's going to be a hard game. It's going to be, they're going to be up for it. Remember, they were moaning about us celebrating and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
Well, so there's going to be a bit of spikiness to the game, but honestly, I think this is a game we can win. But be complacent against it. You saw what they went on Tottenham and did.
Yeah.
Tottenham started the game terribly, made mistakes, sloppy, and that's why they lost that game.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously that whole celebration gate that Wolves weren't particularly happy with. I'd hope that sparks the Arsenal fans and the Emirates to turn that stadium into a cauldron tonight.
Yeah.
Make it horrible for them. It's not like it happened and then we got to go to their place and we know we're kind of, all right, we're going to be in the thick of it. This is our opportunity to make it horrible for them tonight. And there have been a few games where the atmosphere at the Emirates has been particularly electric. You think of the North London derby. Yeah, most of the season, the West Ham game. Absolutely, which I liken that West Ham game before Christmas to this one. Against a top four rival at home. We know they can be difficult to break down. Our form has been pretty good, but moments of patchiness in there. The atmosphere needs to be big, doesn't it, Cecil?
Yeah, I think it's going to be key tonight from the fans. They're going to have to get behind the young boys and the squad tonight. But like you said, the Emirates has been rocking recently. I've even go back to the game, the most recent game as well against Brentford. It was rocking, and it's going to be key, especially because of this. We celebrated, we over-celebrated according to the Wolves team, which I don't get. I think that's a credit to them as well. Like, we won the game, 10 men.
It is a credit to them. I can't believe that insults.
That's what football's about.
It's a huge result.
People
forget the context of that game.
Right,
we're coming off of a terrible January.
Yeah.
We're going away to Wolves, difficult. We go down to 10 men. We're right up against it. We managed to hold on.
Yeah,
exactly. So what was wrong with stuff, Wolves, man? Why can't we celebrate? I mean, I thought that was, I just want to see our players celebrating tonight. And the point you made, Cecil, about the atmosphere at the stadium, funny enough, I heard a guy on the radio earlier sort of saying that he feels it's down to, it's a bit of a younger crowd this year and stuff. I don't think it's that. I think what is that there's a lot of players on that team
buy into
that we buy into.
That's it.
They're new players. They're guys. Yeah. We've had a lot of players over the years that we kind of almost like the fans have become fed up with them.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we've got players like Smith Rowe, Saka, Tommy Asu, Tierney, Ramsdale. All these guys you're kind of buying to. Even if they make an error, you're kind of like, you know what? Yeah. Whereas there's certain other players over the years, we've seen them make those errors week in, week out for about the last 5 years. So it's kind of almost like when they do make that mistake, you get the groans coming in.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel now that we really are into the players that we've got. We've bought into them. So it's been a good atmosphere this season.
It's all about effort. And one thing we know about this team is when they go across that line, they give 100%. So if they do make a mistake, you can forgive it. I don't mind what someone does for a living. If they give 100%, you just can't complain about them. And that's what this team does.
Yeah, Mikel Arteta said it as well. Mikel Arteta said it in his press conference. He feels that the fans and the players, the bonds are coming closer. And I feel it. I really do. And Robbie's made a great point. I think we just buy into what we're seeing right now. And with the young players, Ramsdale, even the Lacazettes, when he comes on, I remember against Palace, he come on and was like coming us to our fans, like, come on, like, I'm proper buying into it, and the style of play and everything. So I think that is definitely a big
as fans, we always ask for work ethic, give your all. That's kind of the least. And this team have given that to us all season, in fairness. And again, that is a big part of it. Away from just kind of the passion and the energy and all that, there's some genuine team news that we're going to find out in 5 minutes' time. Some big decisions for Arteta to make. Martinelli and Tomiyasu are the two names I'm looking at. Let's start with Martinelli. And I think we're just going to quick fire. Does he come back in for you? And if he does, why? And for who?
Don't do it, Rob.
No.
Good man.
No.
Good man.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm with him. I think you're the only one, James.
He's not.
oh yeah, you love Martinelli.
I think Smith Rowe.
Love him.
You know, I think when you come off of a weekend, you've just scored. I wouldn't. I keep Lacazette there because I think against a team that's so well organised and such a good defensive team that they don't play a high line. Wolves, they're going to be fairly deep. I think that kind of player that's going to link up, hold up is very important. So that's why I'd have Lacazette. I'd keep Smith Rowe out there, and then I keep back Martinelli in reserve because he can replace any one of two of those players. He could come on, he could replace Smith Rowe if it ain't going right. He can come on and replace Lacazette down the middle if it ain't going right. So that's why I'd do that. Tomiyasu I would bring back in, yeah. Even though Cedric, to be fair to him, has done nothing
really
wrong.
well.
Which is interesting.
He's done nothing wrong, but Tomiyasu for me,
That's interesting.
if he's fit and he's ready to go, for me, he's back in.
Do you know what? For me, as a player, I always say you just deserve to keep your shirt on merit. I think for me, Smith Rowe starts over Martinelli. I think Smith Rowe's waited a long time. Once Martinelli took his spot, he's waited very long.
And he's a goal scorer in a tight game. He's a goal scorer.
Exactly. And Smith Rowe comes straight in. He scored his goal. What more can the player do to earn his position back starting? So for me, Smith Rowe stays in. I think Martinelli has his time now to say, okay, I'll wait for my turn. They're both great players, and they can both be used and to better this Arsenal side. But I like to keep players in the side on merit.
Martinelli's a great weapon to bring in later on. He's going to be fired
Got
up
the legs.
after what happened in the last game.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I love Smith Rowe. I love him, I love him, I love him. I love him, I love him, I love him.
I love him more.
But
Julian loves him.
who's a better player, Martinelli or Smith Rowe?
Who's going to score you? Who's more likely to get you the goal?
We're saying that
have to make
now.
that choice.
No. You're up
There
against
is other options there.
I
There are other
feel
options, that's true.
we're up against a team. But
Smith Rowe what?
Smith Rowe's not travelled or Tomiyasu.
Okay, so we just had some breaking news.
well, that's a rumour, isn't it?
Yeah, is that true?
Oh,
He travelled.
okay. Breaking news.
home
Apparently,
game.
Emil Smith Rowe has not travelled for the game tonight, nor has Tomiyasu.
Well,
So I'm just
that'd
going
be bad
to
news.
have a little look at that now. So this whole conversation was completely pointless.
That must be COVID then.
So quickly, just on that, Cedric as well and Tomiyasu, I would have went with Cedric as well. Again, I stick to my players on merit deserve to stay in the squad. The Wolves side aren't a massively tall side. We spoke about this against Brentford. It made sense for Tomiyasu to go in then. But Cedric, I think for me, keeps his spot, and clearly if he hasn't travelled, he probably will. But Cedric's been playing well, man. I don't think
been playing well, but I'd bring Tomiyasu back in. I'm sorry, a super chat at OzF says Michael Edwards is leaving Liverpool in the summer. Would you replace Edu with the genius that built Liverpool into a machine that is now? Michael Edwards has made some great signings, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'd be nervous because I do think we're going in the right direction. I think Edu gets a lot of unnecessary hate, if I'm honest. Julian, we need to get your take. The lineup's out in 2 minutes.
Okay.
It looks like we don't really have a choice. But
So that must be an injury then.
Would
to Smith
Martinelli
Rowe.
be coming in for you?
It may well be COVID. I would put Martinelli back in.
For Smith Rowe?
No, and it would be close. I would take Lacazette out, and it's not to do with Lacazette being poor, although in front of goal he has been. I understand that his link-up play is great, but I just think when Martinelli's on the pitch and that injection of pace, it frightens the other teams. And it also, it's not just about what Martinelli does, it's infectious. And when Martinelli goes on those runs, it lifts the crowd and it also motivates players around him. It's just, you know, I was talking about
I'm gutted Smith Rowe's out though, man.
if he's out, it's
well, people
are
are saying in the comments that he's not travelled. They're both injured. Says Sophie.
I'm gutted. Maybe with the Tomiyasu thing, they're not rushing him back.
Yeah, because the other thing is,
but
it's
if he was fit, he plays for me.
Yeah, he should be in the squad though. It's interesting because he was in the squad in the last game, so it's interesting to say that he's not in the squad. I'll be very intrigued.
Just waiting. So go
Just
on.
got a super chat here from EM. Says James speaking facts as usual. Smith Rowe has significantly outperformed his XG. Very fortunate in getting his goals. Martinez is the better player.
Put it very eloquently.
Yeah.
But that's basically what I'm saying.
He probably is, but right now, how I look on it, right, is that outperformed his XG. That means he's playing out of his socks.
Yeah.
Right, and at the end of the day, this game tonight is going to be a tight game in which we need goals, right? I think the team's out, but this is a tight game in which we need goals, right?
Yeah.
And for me, He's our top goal scorer. I
agree.
want him on the pitch.
I agree. I think Smith Rowe.
I want him on the pitch.
I want him on the pitch.
We need goals. Just quickly, one thing that jumped out to me. You said there's going to be a lot of goals tonight. Do you think it's going to be quite? Because for me, I don't see. They got the.
No, I'm not saying a lot of goals. I said there won't be a lot of goals tonight. It's a tight game.
It's going to be a very close.
I mean, I do think my prediction. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal.
That's mind blowing for me. They got the second best defense, joint second best defense in the league. You know.
Yeah. So they conceded one at the other day. We scored against them when we went to their play. They do concede.
Yep.
They don't concede a lot.
Yeah.
Wow, 2-0.
But we've got one of the best home records in the league as well.
Very true.
True.
I think with the news that Tomiyasu and Smith Rowe aren't available, the 11 kind of picks itself, but we'll go through it. Aaron Ramsdale obviously keeps his place. Cedric White, Gabriel and Tierney in the back four. Partey, Xhaka and Odegaard, with Saka, Martinelli and Lacazette as the front three.
Okay.
Still a strong
and who's
side.
on the bench?
I don't know. So we'll have a little look now.
There we go.
But that's hardly surprising. I mean,
Yeah,
especially when we
no.
had that news. Listen, I'm happy Martinelli's playing. It's just a shame it's come at a cost to, Smith Rowe not being
Have
in
we
the
got any
squad.
idea what's wrong with Smith Rowe and Tomiyasu?
I'm sure Arsenal will update us very soon. For the
I'll
bench.
give the bench.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Leno, Holding, Tavares, Swanson, El Neni, Lokonga, Hutchinson, Pepe, and Nketiah. So not a lot on that bench.
Wow.
Especially like if we need a goal, it's only really Pepe.
Pepe and
Just Pepe.
Nketiah. It's not a bad
For a
bench.
goal, to get a goal,
Pepe.
Julian. To get a
to
goal,
get a goal.
Julian.
To me,
Yeah,
I'm looking
Nketiah
Pepe.
scores goals.
How much?
Yeah,
He hasn't scored a Premier League goal yet, has he?
Yeah, when?
I've seen him score a hat-trick this season.
Yeah, in the
Yeah, that
cup,
was in the League Cup, but he hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League
It
yet.
was on Hackney Marshes though.
Have we got any idea of what Wolves have put out? Because obviously everyone's kind of waiting to
Yeah.
see if Neto will be in the side. I'm sure he'll be on the bench because he's returning.
I'd be surprised. Just having a little look now. I'd be very surprised if he's brought straight back in, especially because they got the likes of Trincao and Podence.
Trincao hasn't been playing though since he played against us, which I find.
But he
very
is an
interesting.
option. So here we go. Sarr in goal. I think it looks like a back five or back three with wing backs. Semedo and Eight Nor as the wing backs with Kilman, Cody and Saiss. Neves and Moutinho with Hee Chang Huang, Jimenez and Podence as the front three.
Podence's goal.
Slightly
Yeah,
different
that's
team
wicked.
to the last time we played him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Trincao
interesting.
played
Yeah.
last time.
Wang wasn't playing, he's just come back. And also Moutinho, I remember he was out injured.
Yeah,
Good
he's
player
back.
as well. They got
Neto,
good players.
Trincao.
Yeah, I think they've got everyone available
And
now.
Silva.
Yeah, they do.
Didn't Kundal as well, who's on the bench for them, start in the Spurs game when they won? I feel like, he definitely played in it. So yeah, they've got some depth there they can call on. I mean, listen, I guess the conversation is slightly redundant because Arteta didn't have the choice, but that is the best 11 he could have gone for. We're not thinking Pepe or anything like that, are we?
But it actually shows we're missing two of our integral players,
Yeah.
and we're still able to field a really strong 11 with a decent bench.
Yeah,
Which I think
this-
reinforces the fact we've
the
got
bench is a bit
we-
light.
we
That
have a
bench
big
is
enough
light.
squad for the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, this is where I get back to the one game a week thing, where it really helps us, because if we didn't have the one game a week thing, we'd be struggling.
Yeah.
But because it's only really one game a week, we can get by. Smith Rowe is a big miss, though. I mean, he's a lot of times this season he's come off the bench with goals if he plays on the bench, or if he's on the. I mean, he's our top goal scorer, so we want him in this game. This could be the game for Pepe to step up.
Yeah. It gives him a
Because
chance.
I'd envisage him coming on at some stage in this game, unless it's all going, we've got players sent off or something like that. So I envisage him coming on, and he looked lively when he came on the other day.
Very good.
So
Very, very
he looks
well.
hungry.
Yeah.
So it could be a big game for him, and it's a big game for Lacazette as well. You know what I mean?
Let me-
Still,
Yeah, it is a big game. for
Bamiyang's
him,
gone and got a hat trick. None of our two strikers have scored a goal
goals,
yet
yeah.
since he's gone.
Let me ask you about another player who I thought was class in the Brentford game and could be crucial, especially when you know that Wolves are so compact at the back. Martin Odegaard.
Of course.
How crucial is he going to be today, Julian?
Yeah, he's the player that can unlock a tight defence. He's got that ball in him. He thinks quicker than pretty much everyone else on the pitch. He sees things that I only see when I'm sat in the stand. If I was sort of at pitch level, I'd never see those things until about 5 minutes after.
He's so underrated. He's so underrated amongst
agree.
amongst this fan base, and I think amongst many other people. Big up Robbie did an underrated show as well not too long ago, but no one really mentioned Martin Odegaard. For me, class, the elegance he plays with, the fake kicking it against Brentford, the flicking over the player's head. He's essential in today's build-up play.
We said
He
after.
puts the effort in as well.
Yeah, he
He's
presses
got work
hard.
rate.
Yeah,
He
that's
comes
true.
back, and
We-
that's what
we-
makes the perfect player.
We said after the Norwich game, you got all these stats, expected goals, and we made up. I mean, you couldn't measure it, but if there was a stat for like expected ball retention,
Yeah.
you know, Odegaard's would be through the roof, because the amount of times I think, he's got it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of times that I'm thinking, how is he getting out of this? And he does, whether it's via a clever pass or a drop of the shoulder, or there's 3 men round him, he's got the quick feet to get out, and it rarely leads to a goal or ever, but it's so crucial to have that degree of composure in the middle of the pitch. You look at the Liverpool game, the semi-final, we lost 2-0. He was one of the standout players because I didn't feel he was getting overrun by Liverpool's midfield.
Yeah.
But we're
A natural leader as well.
He's going to have to be on his best tonight, because they've got a good midfield.
They do.
And Matinho, Neves, you know, they got a good mid, but I think we got a good midfield as well. And another player, hopefully, has a big game is Thomas Partey as well. You know, I mean, when he's on it as well. So it's 2 good midfields coming up against each other tonight.
Yeah.
We're at home, man. Yeah. We're at home. There's a lot on this game. Big game.
How are you feeling about Xhaka? We saw him in a new role against Brentford. Well, I say new, he's done it a bit more over December as well, but more box-to-box. The left-sided attacking player gets forward a lot more now. Another big game for him?
Yeah, listen, he's been consistent since he sort of come back into the fold. We cannot, tonight, nobody must be sent off, man.
Please.
Nobody must be sent off, man.
Please,
I'm telling you,
every game
we've got to play
No
games.
Reds.
We've got to play games with 11 men. If we play games with 11 men, most times we'll win them.
Can I call on
we get a result.
Robbie? Can I call on the refs to do their jobs?
Shocking again at the
I
weekend.
refrained from all the complaining on the weekend because we won and it wasn't important in the end, but we could easily 2 penalties.
Shocking
Could have been
referee.
4.
That was outrageous.
Shocking
against
referee.
Brentford.
What made me laugh with that first one is like the 2 penalty shouts, but they only looked at 1. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They only, if you look at it, they only actually looked at 1 penalty shout. They didn't look at.
Was that the Lacazette one?
Yeah.
They didn't look at the white one. I
They
think.
didn't look at
Which,
the.
by the way, should have been a
right.
penalty.
Whereas when you know, we go back a couple of weeks ago to the sending off of Martinelli, they were able to look at both there to issue 2 yellow cards.
Yes.
You know, so it's the inconsistencies of the refereeing and the VAR has been shocking. We just got to take it out of their hands.
And
keep 11 players on the pitch, and really, I really want to see Arsenal right from the whistle goes, go for it. I don't want no passive play. We play passively, we play into Wolves' hand. If we really have a go at them, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let me just take some super chats quick because they're flying in. Thank you everyone as well. So Wayne says, anyone ever seen Martinelli beat a player one-on-one? I definitely have. He's a lot like Liverpool. Need a ball to be played in behind. I've seen him beat a player one-on-one, I think. Against Liverpool. He
one of his strengths.
Yeah, he took on Trent and had a really good game. AFC Max says, hi Robbie and James, ignored us. 6:45 a.m. kickoff, currently 5:45 a.m. in Sydney. In Australia, this game tonight is important, 3 points considering results this week. Very true as well. Matt Carney says, when you see an awe-inspiring moment in football, do you find yourself sitting back on your couch in joyful shock, or do you lean forward in amazement? Question mark. I mean, I think we here at the studio, we lean forward.
In amazement.
Very
excitement.
Very tense. Wayne says, I mean, Walcott, not Liverpool. What was he saying there? I think, Wayne's going back to his last super chat. He's a lot like Walcott. He needs the ball in behind, is what you're saying.
He's always better with the ball in behind.
If
you play a ball in behind, but I'm sorry, I've seen him beat players.
Yeah,
I've seen him,
So the news is from Arsenal officially is that Smith Rowe he's unwell. It's not COVID, and Tomiyasu has a calf injury, so it might be a continuation of the calf injury had before. So both miss out today, but hopefully back soon.
A lot of calf
well, there's no games for. Again, that's why I said it helps us because
When's the next one?
no games until next weekend.
No, and that's a Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, next
Watford.
Sunday. Yeah.
And
then the following game isn't the following game on Monday.
Probably.
Yeah, it's following Monday. Palace, isn't it?
No, that's down the line. It's
Southampton.
No.
Brighton.
No. Just keep saying things.
Just keep saying.
Villa.
Leicester at home, Liverpool at home, Villa away. That's the run.
EM's coming for Robbie here. Robbie, outperforming your XG doesn't mean you're playing out your socks. It means he's fortunate. I disagree with that.
You can look at that 2 ways because some people will say fortunate, right? Outperforming your XG to me is you're playing better
than what you expected.
Your expected goals are, and you've done better than that.
That's a credit to the player.
So how's that lucky? I mean, you're actually doing better than even what is expected of you.
And how do they work out this XG?
It will be position
in the
position
box
of the
and
ball,
the chance,
to
how
shot.
big the chance is.
Yeah, then it'll give it a rating and all
The
that.
only
also
XG I go is the ball going in the back of the onion bag. That's what I go.
You sound like a proper guillotine. Back in the onion.
Yeah, that's my
I've never seen
XG.
Robin
Ball in the back of the onion
I
bag.
think XG is a great stat. I saw people talking about it the other day on YouTube somewhere. I think XG is a great stat when you look at it over like 3-4 months, and you've got like an accumulation of kind of chances. Then you can gauge sort of whether a club's been fortunate or not. But in a one-off game or kind of one-off shots and chances, I think it's far too reductive.
So the XG over the course of a season is important.
Yeah.
So if you look at Wolves, I think they have an XG of scoring of less than 1 goal.
Yeah, they do.
Again,
They're similar
Okay,
to us.
so that
But
would
that's pretty accurate.
Yes, that would mean that they'd be lucky to score tonight.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
yeah, if they're not getting
Yes.
under 1. But yeah, even if you're outperforming your XG, it's a credit to the player. You can make a goal out of nothing. Big up Mills, my friend.
What's that
A lot of his
XG?
goals is that as well, right? Coming off the wing and making it a goal out of nothing, or coming in late to the box.
Speaking
So
of
say XC.
What's
What's
XG?
XG?
Expected cards.
I wonder what Shaq
We'll be
would
top
be.
of that league. We'll be top of that.
Yeah, Xhaka.
it's bloody high.
It's very high.
It's bloody high.
Just
Yeah.
quickly, Bijou says 1-0 Lacazette will finally score. Beyond a must-win. Biggest threat is Atkinson, obviously the referee today. Pepe, Pepe has to be the first sub today for forwards, please.
Yeah.
God, no Neto masterclass.
If we need a goal, Pepe can do something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Love to see Lacazette tonight. You know, I disagreed with. I saw Troops' thing the other day. I disagreed with him, man. I think it's been too harsh, right? Lacazette to me
What he does for the
is
team.
has to sacrifice a lot of his game for the team,
Yeah.
right? We know he's not clinical in it. The Wolves game. Remember that chance when to make it 2-0? We should have scored that. But maybe he just needs that goal. That's why I felt sorry for him. His goal got rightly disallowed the other day.
Not even his fault. It was Xhaka's offside.
Yeah, it was offside.
Yeah.
But you know, he just needs that goal. He just needs that goal. I think.
I'm really glad you touched on that because I've turned up with stats about Lacazette, obviously. I'll go into the first one. It's just really simple stuff. I want to look at our win percentages with and without. Win percentage in the league when Lacazette starts this season is 69%.
Probably higher.
But without him, it's all the way down to 36%. So there's
Wow.
clearly a massive difference
Doesn't
when
surprise me.
Lacazette starts. Now, admittedly, that includes when he started in the number 10 role.
That includes the 3 games at the beginning of the season.
It does.
Where there was plenty of reasons why we lost.
Yeah, he
that
wasn't
had
in the
nothing
side.
to do with Lacazette not
he wasn't
being
in the
inside.
side.
Very true.
Yeah.
But I believe it drops all the way down to like 4 wins out of 11 or 4 wins
I
out of
think
12.
if we take
so
those 3 out
it's-
of those stats, it'd be interesting to see what it is.
It's still
Martinelli
like
was up
4
top
out of
for one of
9. I
them,
think
which
it's still
everyone
below
keeps screaming
50%.
about.
So I mean, you know, you think of the draw at Brighton, the draw at Palace. He didn't start. And in fact, he came on against
on, and
Palace.
he changed
And
the
scored
game.
the
Big
last minute
reason
winner.
why
Yeah.
we got a point, not
Yeah.
only for his goal,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Last minute
Goals per
was
90
short.
with Lacazette is 1.8. Goals per 90 without drops to 1.2. So not a massive difference, but it is better with Lacazette. As I said, in the league, wins with Lacazette 9 out of 13. So yeah, we're winning more with him than without.
He's key to our attack. And I know people get annoyed because he doesn't score goals, but he wins us fouls. He's a leader on the pitch. He brings players into the game for Arsenal. He's essential. He's the reason why
Link up.
goals are coming from other positions. Like,
And again, everything you're saying there and what you were saying about the selfless role,
Yeah.
I've got a second set of stats here. When comparing him to Premier League strikers across this season, 21-22 season, and this is where he ranks in the percentile. So basically, the closer to 100, the higher you rank for it. He's in the 87th percentile for fouls won that have led to goals. For defensive actions that have led to goals, he's in the 94th percentile. 92 for tackles won, 90 for tackles in the middle third, and 78 for tackles in the attacking third. 87 for successful pressures, 92 for pressures in the attacking third, and 92 for tackles and interceptions altogether. So his defensive stats, when you look at not just tackles, but pressures and how many of these defensive actions are intelligent, have led to attacking opportunities and goals, he's been crucial to that as well. So he is doing a very selfless
it's underrated.
role
So I
that
said,
play a massive part in
starts
Arsenal's
for me.
football.
So if I can just understand these stats, is that for all Premiership players or is that just
All Premier League forwards.
All Premiership forwards, okay.
So ranking with your
Alright, so that makes it a little
Firminos,
bit
your-
more.
He starts. He's
pulsing
sort
that.
of kind of playing that Firmino role, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you know he has to give up a lot of his game for the other players around him. We do want to see more goals from him.
Yeah.
But for me, he starts.
He has to
and
start.
he's been the captain, and he's done a good job of being captain.
because what's
You know what I mean?
the alternative?
The alternative is Martinelli up front. That's
I don't know.
Which is an interesting alternative, but I wouldn't go for it.
It's an option, but I don't see Martinelli holding the ball up.
Exactly.
The way we play,
it would be a different type of game. I think it'd be one with more
yeah, but
intensity.
not against. I just don't see that against Wolves. Wolves are not a high line team where you're going to run in behind them. They play like a back three. I just don't think.
Yeah.
That's for tonight.
100%. Can I just wrap through just the last few super chats quickly? Ronald Jacobs says, I want to appreciate academy players, people like Saka, Elanga, Rashford, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and many more show us that believing in academy players is important and good to our future. Sorry, I read that because I was thinking he was going to do Arsenal.
Very true.
All academy, but he's right. We are building into Project Youth. Yep. JWL says Martinelli is going to have a point to prove tonight. Let's go, Gabby.
Yep. That's
very true.
That's another strong point, I guess, for making him starting, because he obviously got sent off in that game and was that was a disgusting decision and had to miss a game.
Yeah,
but he's going to be ruined. He'll be fresh.
Yeah, he's going to want to keep his. He's going to want to keep his spot. Vibe have says, due to a tendency of Arsenal players taking red cards regularly, do you guys think that's a strategy used by other teams to temper up the players? I hope we end up with 11 out there. Of course, teams do that. Teams do that. They target players to get them red carded. Anthony says, I want to see Martinelli up front with Pepe, having a chance on the wing with Saka. Lacazette has been a great leader, but Martinelli is the future striker. Yeah. There's so many. Thank you for these super chats, everyone. Matthew says Odegaard is world class. He's referring to Mesut Ozil as well. Martin Odegaard, sorry. KT, Gabby.
You don't want to make that mistake.
For armband, for the armband, you're right. And last few, Hi Deegan says people are deluded saying Martinelli is better than Smith Rowe. Good player, but Smith Rowe is miles better, effective, direct, and ruthless. And I'm coming. Oh, Andrew says crucial.
So we're very lucky.
Crucial. We win the midfield battle tonight. We need to get the first goal to keep tight at the back. Loving this channel recently. Great work, guys. And I'm going to stop here on AFC. Max says I thought XG was expected gifts. That was especially the case under Arsene Wenger, which was usually followed by a sigh and a frown. And Wayne says Lacazette drops deep to facilitate for the other players. Without Lacazette, Arsenal doesn't score. Bobby Firmino scored 4 goals all season. Gabriel Jesus scored 0, but some fans would want them at Arsenal.
I think there's some good points there. Let's round off, guys, with the starting 11. Starting with Wolves, who visit the Emirates tonight. Jose Sarr in goal. Kilman, Cody, Saiss in the back 3. Semedo and Ait-Nouri as the wing backs. Neves, Moutinho as the 2 central midfielders, with Hwang, Jimenez and Podence as the front 3. So they've got some goals. They've got some quality in that front 3. And reiterating Arsenal starting 11, obviously Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Tomiyasu's out with a calf injury, so Cedric, probably deservedly so anyway, regardless of Tomiyasu's fitness, keeps his place. I know, but he's done well. Cedric keeps his place. White, Gabriel Latini make the rest of the back four. Partey, Xhaka in midfield, with Saka, Odegaard and Martinelli behind Lacazette. On the bench, Leno, Holding, Tavares, Swanson, Elneny, Lokonga, Hutchinson, Pepe and Nketiah. Let's round off some really, really quick predictions. Robbie?
2-0
to Arsenal.
Okay. 1-0 either way.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
We're all expecting a tight game.
It's going to be a tight game. They're solid at the back. And
I am sitting on a bit of a 0-0, but I do think Arsenal more likely
2-0. Listen, I remember the last time we've done the watch along against Wolves, I predicted it. I said we'd win 1-0. Right?
And I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Remember? Everybody else, draw.
Listen, I hope you're right. I hope it's 4.
I think it's become a superstition now where I kind of predict a little bit less and then you're surprised.
2-0. I've got a good feeling.
It's actually just a guard I have up, just to look after myself. Get through.
It's what Arsenal 2. That City performance without the red card. Let's do that.
City performance without the red card.
And let's not. The other thing as well. Don't give away no penalties tonight. Let's not make it easy for these.
They're going to be fired up. We said it at the beginning.
Don't make it easy for them. They've got to earn everything they get.
It's going to be massive. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Starting 11 show. We're back in half an hour. That's 7:30 UK time. So wherever you are around the world, do come join us for the watch along live. Turkish, Laurie, Sharoy's back after his debut on Supporters Club, and a few others as well. I think LV's in the building. So everyone here will be reacting to, hopefully, the Arsenal goals as they go in. If you enjoyed this video, smash a like and do join us later. Fan cams out later. Robbie will be at the ground as well. Lots coming on AFTV. A big thanks and we'll see you later. Come on, Arsenal.